Wow, it's really something how quickly AI has just exploded into, well, into our work lives, hasn't it?
It really has. I mean, ChatGPT wasn't that long ago, and suddenly it feels like it's everywhere.
Exactly. Feels like just yesterday it was this novelty, and now it's changing how we think about jobs.
Absolutely. And we've been looking at this really interesting study from Pew Research to get a sense of how people are actually feeling about it.
Oh, Pew. They always do solid work. What did they look at?
Yeah, they surveyed over 5,000 U.S. workers back in October 2024, so pretty recent data.
Okay, October 24, and they just asked them straight up about AI.
Pretty much how they feel about AI showing up in their workplaces.
Yeah,
The American Trends panel, I think it was.
got it. So, what was the big headline? What's the main feeling out there?
The main thing, the core finding, is that U.S. workers are, well, more worried than hopeful about AI's future impact.
More worried than hopeful. Okay, that definitely sets a tone.
It does. It's a significant majority feeling that way.
So, for anyone listening, when we say AI in jobs, what are we actually, talking about? Can we break that down simply?
Sure. Think of it as tech that can do tasks humans usually do, like analyzing data, maybe writing text, automating certain processes.
Right. Not necessarily like robots building cars, but more software-based intelligence.
Exactly. Stuff that handles cognitive work.
Hmm.
The Pew study actually asked about current use, too.
Oh, yeah. What did they find there? Are lots of people using it already?
Well, lots might be stretching it. Only about 16% said AI is currently doing at least some of their work.
16%. That's maybe lower than you might guess from all the buzz.
It is. But then another 25% said, parts of their job could be done by AI, even if they're not using it much now.
Ah, okay. So there's the potential recognized by another quarter.
Right. Which leaves the majority, like 63%, saying they don't really use it or see it in their roles much at all.
Interesting split. And did they see like differences between groups? Who is using it more or seeing that potential?
Yeah, definitely. Younger workers, so think under 30s, and workers with more education, like a college degree, they were much more likely to be in those groups using AI or seeing its potential.
Okay, that kind of tracks. Maybe more tech exposure or roles where it fits easily.
Could be. Now back to that main feeling, the worry versus hope. What were the actual numbers?
Right, you said worry was higher. How much higher?
So it was 52% worried compared to 36% hopeful.
52 versus 36. That's a decent gap.
It is. Clearly leaning towards concern.
And what are those concerns? Like, what specifically are people worried about losing?
The biggest one seems to be job opportunities. Nearly a third, 32%, think AI will mean fewer jobs for them personally down the line.
Fewer jobs for them. That's personal.
Very. And compare that to only 6% who thought AI would actually create more opportunities for them. Tiny fraction.
Wow. Only 6% optimistic on that front. That really highlights the anxiety. It's not just change, it's potential loss.
Exactly. And it's not just some abstract future thing either. A third of workers, 33%, said they already feel overwhelmed by the idea of more AI at work.
Overwhelmed. Yeah, I can see that. It's a lot to take in, the pace of it all.
It really is. Just the prospect can be anxiety-inducing.
Did these feelings change depending on things like income?
Yes, that was another key finding. Lower and middle-income workers, they were significantly more likely to fear job losses from AI than upper-income workers.
That makes sense. Maybe relates to the types of jobs often seen as more easily automated.
That could well be part of it. The perceived risk just isn't spread evenly.
Were there any bright spots, like industries where people felt a bit more positive?
There were a few, yeah. Workers in IT, perhaps not surprisingly,
Okay, sure.
and also people in finance, banking, accounting, real estate, insurance, those areas, they were more likely to see AI creating jobs.
Interesting. So maybe places where they already see AI as a tool to like augment what they do or create new specialisms.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a clearer path to working with it.
Now, you mentioned chatbots earlier. That's something very tangible people are seeing. What did the surveys say about using those?
Right. So overall use is still, not massive, but it's growing, especially with younger folks. About 1 in 10 workers use chatbots daily or a few times a week.
1 in 10 overall. Okay.
But get this, among 18 to 29-year-olds, it jumps to almost a quarter using them that often.
Wow. Nearly 25% of the youngest workers. That's a big generational gap in adoption already.
Huge. And what are they using them for? Mostly things like research, helping with editing, or drafting text.
Research, editing, drafting. Okay, so information and writing tasks mainly.
Seems to be the main thing right now.
And do they find them helpful? Like, are they actually improving work?
The perception seems to be more about speed. People using them find they help get work done faster.
Faster, okay.
Yeah, more helpful for speeding things up than for, say, dramatically improving the quality of the work. That's the general feeling.
So efficiency boost more than a quality revolution, at least for now.
Pretty much based on what workers are saying.
Okay, this gives us a good picture. Based on that chatbot, use the research, drafting, editing. Can we think of some real job examples getting touched by this now?
Definitely. So if chatbots are used for drafting and research, you can imagine content creators, maybe marketing writers, technical writers getting some help or pressure from AI for initial drafts.
Right, the first pass.
Yeah. And customer service, even if it wasn't the top use mentioned, we know chatbots handle basic queries. That could change what human agents focus on.
More complex issues, perhaps.
Exactly. And with editing use, roles involving proofreading or polishing text might see AI tools become standard assistants. These all kind of line up with what the survey found people doing.
Okay, so it's creeping into various white-collar tasks. Given all this and the worry we talked about, what's the practical takeaway? What can workers actually do?
I think the biggest thing is realizing you need to keep learning. Continuous learning, upskilling, it's going to be key.
Adapting to whatever changes come.
Right, and maybe focus on the skills AI isn't so good at, like critical thinking, creativity, complex problem solving, the really human stuff.
The human edge. What else?
It's also smart to try and understand how AI might affect your specific field, your specific role. Don't just wait and see.
Be proactive.
Yeah. Maybe even, try out some AI tools relevant to your work. See what they can do, what they can't do. Think about how you could work with them, not just see them as replacements.
That's a great point. Collaboration, not just competition.
Exactly. And finally, don't forget those core human skills: communication, empathy, teamwork, leadership. AI isn't replicating genuine human connection anytime soon.
Good advice. So let's wrap this up. The Pew study shows clear worry among U.S. workers about AI.
Definitely more worry than hope right now.
But understanding what's happening, seeing where AI is being used, and focusing on learning, adapting, and honing those uniquely human skills, that seems like the best path forward.
It really does. It's about being adaptable and informed as the future of work continues to, well, unfold.
Some really vital things for all of us to think about. If you found this deep dive helpful for understanding the feelings around AI at work, definitely hit subscribe so you don't miss our next explorations.